सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये चैतन्यं सर्वगं सर्वं सर्वभूतगुहाशयम् यत्सर्वविषयातीतं तस्मै सर्वविदे नमः। मूत्राशंको यथोदङ्कः नागृहीतमृतं यथा कर्मनाशभयाज्जन्तोः आत्मज्ञानाग्रहस्तथा बुद्धिस्थश्चलतीवात्मा ध्यायतीव च दृश्यते नौगतस्थ यथा वृक्षाः तद्वत् संसारविभ्रमः। नौस्थस्य प्रातिलोम्येन नागानां गमनं यथा आत्मनः संसृतिस्तद्वत् ध्यायतीवेति हि श्रुतिः। The first verse was told here, Pradhartha Swarupa Aparijnanam Viparita Jnanam Cha Srutyukta Atma Agraha Karanam. The reason why the Jivatma does not see, in fact that is how it should be, Jivatma does not see the Atma, the self, as revealed by the Shruti, as Ananda Swarupaha, because of Padartha Swarupa Parijnanam. So, Padartha, the Tatpada, Tvam-pada, Asipada, Padartha Swarupa, the non-duality identity of Jiva, Ahankara and Brahma. Aparijnanam, the ignorance of the non-duality or identity of the self and Brahman, which is what the Shruti reveals, that Atma is Ananda Swarupaha. But because of ignorance of the true nature, viparita jnanam cha, and taking a self what is not self, namely the body and the upadhi, which is not the self, taking that to be the self, is the Shrutyukta Atma Swarupa Agraha Karanam. That's the reason why Jivatma does not take himself to be Ananda Swarupa. The way it is interpreted here is that even though Shruti says you're Ananda, people don't accept it because they will lose their karma. I don't know if that is the thing actually. But if as ultimately Tikakara concludes Padartha Swarupa Parijnanam, ignorance of one's true nature, viparita jnanam cha, so avarana and vikshepa, taking to be self what is not the self, namely upadhi, is the reason why one does not know the true nature of oneself. Even though Shruti so reveals it, one does not take oneself to be immortal self. Now, for that the Drishtanta is given. Buddhistha charati atma dhyayati eva cha dushyate. Buddho linga sharire abhimanitvena sthita atma. There is a habitual identification buddhi of the sukshma sharira and sthula sharira. Atma, the self that obtains with the habitual identification, viparita bhavana, with the buddhi, which stands for the sukshma sharira, which also includes the sthula sharira. Dhyayati vacha dushyate. So what's the reason why you do not take yourself to be limitless? Because I experience myself as jayati, as though I am focused, chalati, as though I am disturbed. So I take myself to be disturbed, focused, etc. on account of identification to buddhi. So buddhistha linga shari buddhau abhimanitvena sthita. Not in the buddhi, but one who obtains as identified with the buddhi, that I am the buddhi. Therefore, when buddhi is in fact focused or buddhi is disturbed, the Jivatma says that I am focused, I am disturbed, I am restless. So how do you superimpose here the attributes of the buddhi are superimposed upon the self? For that the example is given. How a person riding in a boat sees the trees and other objects which are stationary objects on the bank of the river as traveling in the opposite direction. Naustasya pratilomyena naganam gamanam yatha. The tree and other immovable things on the bank of the river or a lake, how pratilomyena gamanam, how they all appear to be traveling, moving in the opposite direction. Atmana samsruti tadvyata. Similarly also, dhyayati eva. So dhyayati, that I am meditating, I am focused, is samsara. Because that is the nature of buddhi. So if you are right now dhyayati, dhyayami lelayati, then I am going to be disturbed also. So this is how the attributes of the buddhi are habitually superimposed upon the self, and one concludes oneself to be as limited, small, good, bad as the buddhi. Tadvat samsara vibhrama. So this is the nature of vibhrama. This is how the vibhrama or the delusion, aham samsare, that's the vibhrama. Samsara vibhrama, delusion of samsara means what? samsari aham, distracted I am, restless I am, limited I am, one among many I am, separated I am, etc. etc. Now continuing, prapanchida drishtanta anugunyena दाष्टान्तिकं प्रपञ्चयन् उदाहृतश्रुत्यर्थम् आह चैतन्यप्रतिबिम्बेन इति. उदाहृतश्रुति ध्यायतीव लेलायतीव is the उदाहृतश्रुति from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So drishtanta anugunyena, in keeping with that drishtanta, dhyayativa lelayativa, dashtantikam prapanchayan, atma is dashtanta. So drishtanta is that naustha, the person traveling in the boat. Dashtanta is the atma identified with the buddhi. Udaharata shrutyarthamaha. And so, what is the meaning of the shruti? Dhyayativa, lelayativa. That was stated in the verse number 4. Chaitanya pratibimbena vyapto bodho hi jayate buddhe shabdadibhirbhasah तेन मोमुह्यते जगत. Chaitanya Pratibimbena Vyapta Bodha. Bodha means a cognition or a thought. Buddhivritti. Chaitanya Pratibimbena Vyapto hi jayate. Whenever a thought arises in the mind, it is always pervaded by the reflection of consciousness. It is the nature of the mind, and therefore a thought of the mind to always reflect consciousness. Just as water in a container will reflect a bright object such as the sun or the moon. So, when the thought arises, it arises only as pervaded by the reflection of consciousness. This is the svabhava, nature of the buddhi to reflect consciousness because it's svacha dravyam. Buddhe shabdadivir bhasah. Buddhi itself takes the form of vishaya, shabda, etc. So what's the thought? A ghatakara vritti. So vritti is called the bodha here, which always is an akara, such as ghatakara. What is ghata? A vishaya, which is shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, shabdadi. Stand means for vishaya. So buddhi has the akara of a vishaya, such as ghatapata, or such as a body, mind, body, etc. That's how the buddhi arises, as pervaded by consciousness. Tena momuhyate jagata. And the Atma takes himself to be buddhi. Avidya svatmani adhyasta buddho. Because of ignorance, the adhyasa, the superimposition of the buddhi upon the Atma, and Atma upon the buddhi automatically takes place. So this is the habit of number one. Buddhi always takes the form of an object, such as body, is always pervaded by the reflected consciousness, and Atma habitually identifies with buddhi. Swatmani adhyast buddhau. Atma identifies buddhi and therefore dharma upon oneself. And that is how judges oneself. This is the practice. This is the prakriya. Tena momuhyate jagat. And therefore, the jagat becomes very much deluded by that. Frequently deluded, highly deluded. So the Tikakara says, Chaitanya Pratibimba Chidabhasaha. What is Chaitanya Pratibimba? The reflection of Chaitanya consciousness. Pratibimba reflection. Chaitanya Pratibimba, the reflection of consciousness. Says Chidabhasa. More commonly used word is Chidabhasa. You call it Abhasa or Pratibimba. Tena vyapto yasmat buddhehe bodha. Buddhe second line. Bodha first line. Buddhehe bodha. Buddhi means the mind. Bodha means vritti here. Vishayakara buddhi. Bodha means buddhi. Vishayakara buddhi. A vritti. Jayate. So whenever, first of all, buddhi always is an akara. Because buddhi is always outwardly directed. It is in contact with the objects of the world. So when buddhi always has an akara, vishayakara. In vishayakara buddhi, the consciousness always gets reflected. So vishayakara buddhi arises along with the reflection of consciousness. You can take the example of a bucket of water placed on the roof where the sun is shining in the sky, and so the reflection of the sun happens in the water. And if the water is dirty, then the reflection is dull, and the water is restless, the reflection is restless. This is the nature of things. Imagine sun looking at the reflection and judging himself. So, the sun superimposes the attributes of the water and the reflection upon oneself and says, I am dull, I am restless, I am limited, I am one among many. So this is the prakriya. So Vishayakara buddhi jayate atah swabhas avivekat. Here Vishaya means body, upadhi. So in this case, the buddhi arises with the knowledge or the form of the body, let us say, upadhi. Atha swa avasa avivekat. Because of aviveka, the sun confused himself to be the reflection. Shabdadevihi buddhi vritti vyapta vishayehi. So Shabdadevihi bhasah buddhe Shabdadevihi bhasah. Shabda means the Shabda sparsha the Vishaya. So buddhi vritti vyapta vishayehi bhasah. The buddhi always shines along with the Vishaya such as Shabda sparsha. Or so dehadi atma, even the body also is the same. Shabda sparsha. Ittam bhave trutiya. Shabdadivihi is trutiya. Ittam. What is meant by ittam bhave? Says Vishayabhut dehadhyatmana. As a Shabdadi. What is Shabda here? The Vishaya. What is Vishaya? The Deha, etc. So Vishayabhuta dehadhyatmana bhasaha. The buddhi shines as the very body, etc. In that form, the buddhi, the vritti shines. Bhasanam sfuranam atmana bhavati iti shesha. That you have to add. So, the Atma shines as the body, etc. Because the buddhi reflects the body, And buddhi also, buddhi takes the form of the body and reflects consciousness. The reflected consciousness taken to be the self, and therefore Atma takes himself to be of the form of the body, etc. So this is the process of explaining the adhyasa. However you want to explain it. You can make it as complicated as you want. But simple thing is that Atma habitually identifies himself with the Upadhi, Dehadi Upadhi, and takes himself with Dehadi, etc. Now, this is the way to explain it. The reason why explaining is so that you can do the reverse. That's the whole idea. So to understand the prakriya, then you know what to do. Anyway, Tikakara says, so Atma Sfuranam Bhavati. So Vishayabhut Dehadhyatmana Bhasanam Sfuranam Atmana Bhavati. Therefore, Atma shines as possessed of the form of the body, etc. This is what it is. Then, because buddhi is there, it takes the form of the body, reflected consciousness, and the aviveka between Atma and the reflection. Therefore, the Atma takes himself to be the buddhi, and buddhi is of the nature of body, so Atma takes himself to the body. शब्दादिभिर भाषा टीका से यदि शब्दादि निर्भाषा यदि पाठो लभ्यते instead of शब्दादिभिः भाषा शब्दादि निर्भाषा. Then nirvasa also means the abhasa only. Tada bodha vishesha. Shabdadi vir bhasa bodha. Shabdadi nirvasa bodha. That's how it should be. Shabdadehe vishayasya nirvaso yasmin tatha iti sugam. That means that Shabdade nirvasa bodha. Bodha the vritti is that which is nirvasa, the reflection of Shabda, body, etc. That would have been easier. So what it means is this. Yena evam ekasyam buddhi vrittau dehadi vishaya chaitanyaho samshlehideva bhavati. Because evam in this manner ekasyam buddhi vrittau, in one buddhi vritti, the dehakar buddhi vritti, ghatakar buddhi vritti, dehakar buddhi vritti. What happens there? Dehakar buddhi vritti is there, reflected consciousness also is there. So dehadi vishaya chaitanyayo samshlesha, dehadi vishaya, dehadi akara is there in the buddhi, and chaitanya reflected consciousness also is there. Samshlesha, that is as though an embrace between the two. So therefore there is as though the identification between the two. You do not distinguish the reflected consciousness from the form of the body, etc. That form belongs to buddhi. And reflection belongs to consciousness, you can say. But both of them appear as one. And therefore the consciousness appears as of the form of the deha. Tena anyonya aviveka nimittena. Since both of them appear as one, like the iron and fire appear as one as a fireball, the buddhivritti and consciousness appear as one, and therefore not being able to distinguish between them. Aviveka nimittena, aviveka, the inability to separate the two, the buddhivritti and the consciousness. Jagataha, jagat means what? Jagat janaha, people. So mumuhyate atishayena muhyate ityartha. Therefore, the jagat or the human being, particularly, they are all living beings. But the main problem belongs to human being, and therefore he is very much deluded, meaning dehoham, taking the body to be the self. And manahaham, buddhiham, etc. That I am ahankara. So product is ahankara. Ahankara has the consciousness and the akara, the shape of the upadhi. So consciousness of the shape upadhi can be called ahankara. यथा नौस्तः पुरुषः नावः चलनं न अनुभवति. Just as the person riding the boat does not experience the movement of the boat. We who are right now stationed on the earth do not experience the motion of the earth. So, say a person riding in the boat does not feel the movement of the boat because he is moving along with the boat. Achalatsu cha vruksheshu chalanam anubhavati. And the trees, etc., which are non-moving, he thinks that they are moving, just as a person on the earth feels that earth is stationary, the sun is rotating, sun is moving. Upadhi samarthya, this is called the superimposition. The boat is the upadhi, a movement of which is superimposed upon the trees, and the trees are taken to be moving. Not only they appear to be moving, they are taken to be moving by children. Children, when they are riding in the train, think that the poles, are all moving in the opposite direction. Similarly, also, a person riding the boat may think that the trees are moving in the opposite direction. Just as the person on the earth feels that the sun is rotating. So a person in the buddhi thinks that, so the Atma is moving, Atma is nagaha, is motionless. Buddhi is chalari, moving. But because he is riding in the buddhi, he thinks that he does not experience the movement of buddhi and thinks that Atma is moving, nagaha is nagachati, motionless. So trees etc. are motionless, Atma is motionless and thought to be moving. Evam buddhistah dehadi atmabhav iva apanna. Similarly, Atma identified with buddhi, and buddhi has of the form of deha etc. So Atma is become buddhi, has become body etc. as though iva. Dehadi atma bhavam iva, there is an iva there, apanna. Atma tadiyam vyaparam na prasak anubhavati. So vyapara, the movement, the changes taking with buddhi, body etc. are not experienced. If I experience the movement of the body, then and of the buddhi, then I would not take them to myself. Then viveka would be there. If I was standing on the bank, I would know that the boat is moving. So if I knew that, now the thing is that you have to know that the trees are motionless even when you see them moving. And the boat is moving even when you don't see it moving. Whoever discovered this, that earth is moving and sun is standstill, he did not go away from the earth and did not see the earth moving. Today you can see that. If you go away, you can see the earth as a globe. Sun is another globe. But without all that also, he could visualize that. Anyway, so tadiyam prasanati tadabhasa avivekattu chiratmani vikaram aropayan. And therefore that abhasa avivekat, the abhasa has taken the form of the buddhi, of the body, and is still moving. And that is taken to be the self. Chidatmani vikaram aropayan anubhavati. So vikara belongs to Chidabhasa, which is taken of the form of the buddhi, which has the form of the deha. So buddhi takes the akara of deha. Chidabhasa pervades the dehakara buddhi, and not separating the two Atma, thinks that I am the dehakara. This is the prakriya. For that, the example of the person moving in the boat, not seeing the motion of the boat, superimposing motion of the boat upon the trees, and thinking that the trees are... Well, that's example has only limitation. Here, Atma thinks that I am moving, Atma thinks that I am moving, that's all. So, example is not in all aspects. It is not that a passerby is seeing the boat, etc. Boat itself thinks that I am stationary, or tree thinks that I am moving, something like that. The tree sees the boat as moving and thinks that I am moving. Something like that. Tree does not recognize that I am standing still, sees the boat moving, superimpose the movement and thinks that I am moving. This is what the real example is. Tree that is stands still thinks that I am moving and then suffers from that. But anyway, always example is given like a bystander. Somebody who looks at the reflection and thinks that, but sun is looking at the reflection, understand? Not a bystander looking at reflection and concluding about the reflection is dull, etc. Doesn't matter. The sun looks at the reflection, thinks that I am reflection. And all the attributes of reflection are taken to be his own attribute, and then sun suffers from the complex that I am one among many, I am dull, I am restless, I am limited, etc. That's how the examples should be ideally understood. Or the tree sees the boat moving and thinks that I am moving. So, Mrusha eva anubhavati. However, the idea is that this is the present situation, momuhyate jagat. The human being is very highly deluded, taking himself to be dhyayati eva, lelayati eva. I am restless, I am standstill. That stands for all the vikaras, all the vikaras of buddhi, which all the vikaras of deha, all the vikaras of upadhi. And vikaras, upadhis are countless, so he is also one of the countless. That's how the duality comes, multiplicity comes, variety comes, and then all the vishamata comes, disparity. इति एतद् ध्यायति इत्यादि श्रुत्या उच्यते अतः उपाधि सामर्थ्यात् संसारित्व विभ्रम इति अभिप्रायः उपाधि because of the upadhi. So on account of upadhi samsaritva brahma. There is no samsaritvam, but on account of upadhi there is brahma or samsaritvam. Usually samartha means arthapatti. So this would not be had it not been so. Anyathanupatti. So had it not been so, Atma could not have been experiencing the samsaritvam. Had it not been so, had the upadhi not been there, had the body mind sense complex not been there, with all its vikaras and everything, Atma could not have been experiencing the vikara. So that is how, on account of upadhi being there, this is happening. Then, with the next page, एवं अविवेक अधीने संसार अध्यासे अविवेक अधीने, that is total depend upon aviveka or non-separation, non-discrimination. Viveka to separate the two. Atma and upadhi separating the two. That's called viveka. Not separating, it's called aviveka. So we explain adhyasa as a phenomenon, as a model or example. Adhyasa means superimposition. As Atma superimposes the body and its attributes upon oneself, Atma superimposes, understand? Nobody else. So samsara adhyase, samsara that belongs to the upadhi, superimposed upon one's own self, and there is no example to explain this really. That is why there is a lot of struggle about the adhyasa. No example to explain that one superimposing upon oneself. You give rope saying example is depending on the rope. And so on and so forth. So you give There is no example where one superimposes something on oneself, seeing something else. You have to think about it. You may find some, but anyway, all these examples are the bystanders superimpose one thing upon the other. But here Atma sees the Buddhi and superimposes the attributes there upon oneself and feels that. And that is why so many questions are there. How can Atma, how can there be superimposition? Atma is the nature of knowledge, consciousness. How can there be ignorance? And so many questions are there which nobody can answer them. But this is an explanation. You have a better explanation, come up with it if you don't mind. That's what I would say. If you have better explanation, the fact that I feel that I am a jiva, that is my experience as though. And the fact is I am Brahman, accepting this too. We are only interested in showing what Shruti says, Aham Brahmasmi. And our experience seems to be Jivoham. So these are all prakriyas. You have some better one, explain it. We don't care. They keep fighting about prakriyas and then dismiss the whole thing. The non-duality is dismissed. You follow? See, the dhyasa cannot be satisfactorily explained. So prakriya cannot be satisfactorily explained. Therefore, the whole thing is, the Mahavakya is dismissed. How can Jagat dismiss? What is what? You have something else. The important thing for us is Aham Brahmasmi. And this is the way to explain so that we can understand what to do to arrive at Aham Brahmasmi. The reason why the prakriyas are there, so you can reverse the thing. Anyway, that will explain here. Evam, so these prakriyas you can keep on going down, round and round and round, and you can make it very complicated, but then there is no prakriya that really explains it. As I see right now, there is nothing that explains how you superimpose things upon yourself. That is what it is. The sun superimposing the attributes of reflection on oneself. How can the sun do that? And how the sun is not conscious? This is an example. And sun thinks that I am reflection, I am that. Then I am one among many, etc. All of this. So, anyway, एवं अविवेकाधीने संसाराध्यासे विविक्त पदार्थस्य वाक्यात् अहं ब्रह्मास्मि इति वाक्यात् में महावाक्यात् तत्त्वमसि महावाक्यात् एवं अविवेकाधीने संसाराध्यासे अविवेकाधीन संसाराध्यास is purely aviveka, purely inability to separate the two. That's all the samsara is. Cause of all suffering is aviveka, the inability to separate the Atma from Anatma. Buddhi Chidavasa from Atma. Vivikta padarthasya vakya. Then tattvamasi. Tvam. The Jiva Atma is Tat. Tat is the consciousness. Consciousness is you and rest of the thing is not you. In Jiva, the Tat is already there. The other stuff, Adhyasa also is there. So that, when you say you are Tat, your consciousness, that means anything other than consciousness that you think you are not. You follow? So he stops identifying with what he is not, then aham brahmasmi iti buddhi vritti udaye mukti bhavishyati. Then buddhi aham brahmasmi. When that vritti arises, when that recognition arises, when cognition arises, whatever you want to experience arises, knowledge arises, mukti bhavishyati. Then there is mukti. It was already there, it was already there. Ataha Padartha vivekata bhavyam mumukshana. Therefore, this is the primary thing that a mumukshu has to do, is padartha viveka. Tat padartha, tvam padartha, asi padartha. It's called pada and padartha viveka. So there was separation based on this mahavakya, which does viveka. That you are tat. So in you, whatever elements are there, other than tat, that you are not. So tat I am, Brahma I am. This is sounds like an equation, etc. That may be what it is right now, but this is what has to happen. That's the idea. So therefore the fifth verse is Chaitanya bhasyatahamah tadarthyam cha tadasya yat idamam shaprahanena parasso anubhavo bhavet. Chaitanya bhasyata ahamaha. Ahamaha, aham means ahankara. Aham now is taken as a word, as a pada. Ahama, sixth case of the word aham. Ahama of the ahankara, Chaitanya bhasyata. Ahankar always arises with reflected consciousness. Number one, it is a reflection of consciousness. Tadarthyam cha, it is meant for consciousness. So, ahankara possesses reflected consciousness and serves the purpose of the consciousness. Tadarthyam. Tadasya yat idam amsha prahane. Therefore, from that ahankara, idam amsha is prahana. Idam amsha is negated as idam. So ahankara possesses two amsha. Aham amsha or anidam amsha and idam amsha. Aham means anidam amsha and idam amsha. Idam amsha, the object amsha. Anidam amsha, the subject amsha. Not even subject per se. So ahankara is a combination of the consciousness which identifies the buddhi, etc. That is idam amsha. One that identifies is aham amsha, anidam amsha. So that aham vritti, in which the consciousness is reflected, aham vritti is a reflected consciousness and serves the purpose of consciousness because consciousness does vyavahara through ahankara. Idam amsha prahane, therefore, from that aham, idam amsha is given up. Saha, then paraha, then what is Paramatma? Sah anubhava bhavet, then this is the abhava that I am Paramatma. So therefore na bhavet, idam amsha prahane na bhavet, that bhavet comes also with na later on. Na bhavet, na syaditi, and therefore that aviveka will not be there anywhere when the idam amsha is given up. All that remains is Chaitanya amsha. And then saha para anubhave bhavet. That will be knowledge of the para of the consciousness. So that's what Tika says. So Chaitanya bhasyata ahamaha. Explain ahamaha. Ahankarasya. What is ahankara? Chit achit granthi rupasya. Ahankara is a product of the identification of buddhi. So buddhi is chit achit amsha, jada amsha. And the reflected consciousness is chit amsha. So then we have all chit achit amsha. So aham vritti in which the consciousness is reflected. And that's called the ahankara. Aham ahankarasya chit ajik ganthi rupasya. So chaya ahankaryoraikyam taptaya pindavat matab. Just as the iron and fire, they become one, appear one. So also the reflected consciousness and the aham vritti, they appear as one. Therefore, there is chit, the consciousness reflected. Achit, the aham vritti. Granthi rupasya, there is a wedding of the two, not of the two. Yet Chaitanya bhasyata, dushyata, that it is illumined by Chaitanya. Chaitanya bhasyata, bhasya means illumined. Chaitanya bhasya, illumined by consciousness. Chaitanya bhasyata, the state of being illumined by consciousness. So ahankara is that which is illumined by consciousness. Yache tadarthyam. Tadarthyam means what? The serves the purpose of consciousness. Chidatmanah Vishaya Upasthapakatvena Tassheshatvam Asti. That Ahankara then presents the Vishayas before the consciousness. After Ahankara comes, then comes the Buddhi and then Manaha and Indriya and all these other things come. And that's how the Vyavahara goes on. That is Vishaya Upasthapakatvena. That Ahankara presents Upasthapaka, presents Vishayas etc. before the consciousness. And that way Ahankara serves the purpose of consciousness. Because with the rest of Vyavahara, samsara goes on. So that ubhayam asya ahankarasya sambandhe. Therefore, says ahankara has these two aspects. One is that it is the granthi or the knot between the aham vritti which is achit and consciousness which is chit. And that product of chit achit ahankara serves the purpose, all vyavahara goes on subsequently. The samsara vyavahara goes on because aham is there. Then buddhi aham, then first identifying from aham to buddhi to manaha to indriyani to deha to the vishayas. That way ahankara serves the purpose of consciousness. So tasmin idam amshasya prahane viveke sati. From that ahankara, when idam amsha we recognize that the vritti, the akara is idam amsha, and then it serves the purpose also is idam amsha. When that is given up, all remains is the consciousness. Again, the objectivity is there. Ahankara is bhasya object. So objectness also should go, the limited should also go, the akara should also go, then what remains is just consciousness, the subject. Then na bhavet, na syat, ityartha iti yojana. So these things, that ahankara will no more remain as standing apart from Atma. When it is recognized that ahankara is number one, a product of chit and achit, and the one that serves all the purpose, that all this belongs to ahankara and not to consciousness. So when this is given up from one's own self, then what remains is consciousness. So therefore, bhasyata being the object of consciousness and serving the purpose of consciousness are the two aspects of ahankara. Ahankara actually is aham vritti, is illumined by consciousness and serves the purpose of consciousness. These two will not be there when that aham vritti I don't identify with aham vritti is not there. In consciousness then the bhasyata also is not there, upyogita also is not there. Idam ayam aham kuto bhodhi chinvatah aipatatyam nija vicharanam ahaminashamaji. When aham vritti also drops, aham, then conscious alone remains as aham aham. So that is what is intended here. Sah anubhava, tatra yo anubhava, sakshi parishishtaha, anubhava, call it consciousness, sakshi the witness, that's what remains parishishtaha. Sah paraha, Paramatma, that is the Paramatma, the consciousness, Vakyarada bhuto bhaved ityartha. So that is the meaning of Mahavakya, Aham Brahmasmi. That Brahma is always there, mixed up with what is not Aham, what is not I. So when that Amsha, which comes from identification Upadhi, when there is dropped by the Viveka, then what remains is as avadhi of the negation, you call it Viveka, negation. What remains as avadhi is the very consciousness which doesn't have bhasyata, doesn't have objectness, and upyogita. Upyogita is there, then samsara is there. So ahamkara is bhasyata, as an upyogita. Both of these go away when aham vritti is not there. So consciousness is devoid of bhasyata and upyogita. That's one meaning. Yadva asya ahamaha ahankarasya chaitanya bhasyata jadata. You can say ahamaha chaitanya bhasyata or ahamaha or ahankara is what? Chaitanya bhasyata is illumined by Chaitanya, means itself illumined, means it is paraprakasha, means it is jada, is achetana. Ahamvritti is achetana. Tadarthyam cha ahamvritti serves all the patasheshashvam cha is all there. Yet yadmadasmi tat tasmad ayam ahankara na atma. Therefore, ahamvritti is not atma. Because it is bhasya and it is achetana, so it is not atma. Iti vedyamsha prahanena idamamsha prahanena idamamsha you call it vedyamsha you call it, meaning that it is illumined. Vedya is object. So objectamsha drishyamsha, when that is let go from ahankara, tasmin asmudartha vimana tyagena. And therefore, in these aspects of what is bhasya, what is object, what is achetanam, what is upyogi, giving identification with that. Tasmin asmadarthatva vimana tyagena. No more identify with that which is bhasyam, achetanam, drishyam, idam vritti, and which is upyogi. That is the also the purpose of that aham. So, I am not, when from I this is given up, then what remains in I, saha anubhavaha par atma iti nischayavan bhavet. So what nischaya right now one has? I am ahankara, I am so and so. From that the nischaya changes where from so and so the bhasyamsha, the drishyamsha, the achetanamsha, the upyogyamsha I am not. Tasmin asmadarthatva abhimana tyagena. In that one asmadartha, that I amness is given up from what is bhasya, what is object, and what is inert, and what is upyogi. Then from my own experience, when this is given up, what remains is the experience of pure aham or Brahma or consciousness. Athava saha, where para saha anubhava, that saha, vakyartha vishaya, para atma, sa para sarvottara anubhava, ahamaha ahankarasya. That is the sarvottara anubhava of the aham, of I. Right now the anubhava of I is always there. But then that one where there is vakyartha aham brahmasmi, that is the again anubhava of aham only, nischaya of aham only. Paraha nischaya, para anubhava, sarvottara anubhava, aham ahankarasya. That ahankara is experience, the supreme experience of ahankara, idamamsha prahanena. By giving the idamamsha from ahankara, that ahankara itself reveals itself to be Brahman. So aham itself is experienced as Brahman, when from that the idamamsha is let go. Not too different, but slightly different meanings are given. The Tikakara says, idam anidam atmakasya ahankarasya. Right now ahankara is idamamsha and anidamamsha. That vritti bhasyata is idamamsha. The conscious anidamamsha. Ahankarasya. So ahankara is chetana and jada, two amshas are there. Jada is idamamsha, chetana is anidamamsha. Chit achit. Chit is anidamamsha, achit is idamamsha. Sambandhiya idamamsha. Of this, in that ahankara, that idamamsha is there. Achetana Amsha is there, Akara is there, Visheshata is there. Tasya Sakshi. So, how do you separate the two? Sakshi, Sakshya. So, Viveka is the consciousness is Sakshi, and that idam, Anidamamsha is Sakshi, Idamamsha is Sakshya. Drashta and Drashya. Anvaya Vyatireka. That Anidamamsha consciousness is there when the Idamamsha, the Ahamamsha, Jada is there. And conscious is there even when that is not there, like the deep sleep stage will explain. There are times when the vritti is not there, then also consciousness is there. So when the vritti is, there is a Srityavritti Nirodha, when all the vrittis are completely stopped, then vritti is not there, the ahankara is not there, idamamsha is not there, and still Drashtu Swarup there, the consciousness is very much there. So Anvaya Vyatireka. Or Agama, Apai, Tadav. So one is incidental, one is natural. So that this one ahankara comes and goes, the consciousness is always there. So Agama Apai, one is Apai, Agama Apai, coming and going is Aham Amsha, and Tadavadhi, where that does not come and go, is the consciousness. So these are the different ways the Viveka is done. With Atma and Ahankara, the Viveka is by Sakshi, Sakshya. Anvaya Vyatireka, that Agama Payam is coming and going, and Tadavadhi, which doesn't come and go. Anvaya Vyatireka, Alocha Rupena, Mananena. So when this Alochanam, Mananam, reflection is done, Apabhade Sati, so that Idamamsha, Jadamsha, Chetanamsha, changing Amsha, Agamapayamsha, when Sakshyamsha, Apabhade Sati, Avashishtamsha, Anapohya, Avashishtamsha consciousness, which cannot be given up. Atma iti anubhava bhavet, that is Atma, that anubhava happens. So therefore, Vivek Padartha Vivekada Bhavyam Mumukshana. Mumukshu must always do this Padartha Viveka, separating Aham from Idam, Anidam from Idam in this manner. Then at the end, this is further clarified by a question and answer. Nanu ahamiti avabhase idamamsha evana chakasti. You are saying that from the aham you remove the idamamsha, but where is idamamsha? There is only ahamamsha. You said that ahankara, ahamamsha is there, idamamsha is there. We don't find idamamsha, we don't find the object amsha. We find only ahamamsha there. Ahamiti avabhase, that which shines aham, idamamsha evana chakasti. In that aham, the idam, the non-aham does not shine, na chakasti. Yasya prahanena paranubhava bhavet. You are telling us to let go the idamamsha from and retain the ahamamsha, but idamamsha we don't experience. Therefore, how do you let go to come at with the experience of aham as the paraha, so anubhava? So it was said, that it is the Sarvottara Anubhava. Iti ashankya. So this verse can be answer to that question also. Chaitanya Bhasyata iti. So Chaitanya Bhasyata Tadarthyam cha. Sushuptyadav Atmani. So this Anvaya Vyatireka is shown here. Sushuptyadav Atmani Bhasamanepi. In Sushupti and other avastha like Samadhi. Atmani Bhasamanepi, even though Atma is shining. Ahankaras anubhasad. In deep sleep, Ahankara is not there. Aham vritti is not there. In Samadhi also it is not there. Anatmatve nischite sati. This is why Anvaya Vyatireka you come to this conclusion or understanding that Ahankara is Anatma. Agamapai, it is there now and not there. Anvaya Vyatireka, when it is there, then shining consciousness is there. When it is not there, then also consciousness is there. So this way you arrive at this understanding in this chair that this ahankara is agamapai, is anatma. Anatmatve nischede sati. That way, ahankara is anatma, that nischaya, the conviction arises. Then jagaritadau agantukatvat. Then that ahankara comes back when you wake up. Then you know that it is agantuka. Agamapai. Agantuka nadu swabhavika. Agamapa, it comes in waking. Apaya goes away in deep sleep. So it is agantuka, incidental. Number one, this is the Chaitanya Bhasyata. Tasya Siddha. That is, the Ahankara is something that is objectified by Chaitanya. Illumined by Chaitanya. Objectified by Chaitanya. This is how you see. अतः प्रतिभासते इदमंश अभावेपि चैतन्य भाष्यत्वेन लक्षणेन अस्ति idamakarta ityartha. Therefore, even though you do not see the idamamsha in ahankara, but that ahankara, you can see that it comes and goes, and therefore it is certainly anatma, and therefore idamamsha. Then you can recognize anatmatvam ahankara because agamapari, incidental, and therefore ata pratibhasate, therefore it is illumined. Idamamsha bhavevi chaitanya bhasyatvena lakshanena asti idamakarada. So even though in ahankara you do not see the idamamsha, chaitanya bhasyatvena, whatever comes with in aham vritti is chaitanya bhasya. And therefore it is not idam, it is jada, yachetana. That's how you determine. So even though idamamsha you do not see, the question is when you are experiencing ahankara, at that time the idamness is not there. In ahankara also there is agamapayatva mamsha is there which comes and goes. That aham vritti is there. Aham vritti itself is idam. Aham vritti, when you experience, you do not experience the idam or objectiveness in that one. You experience it as self. That's why you take it to be self. But now when you reflect that this aham vritti is not there in deep sleep state, and it comes when you wake up, that means aham vritti is agamapai, is incidental, and therefore does not exist on its own. If it exists on its own, was shining on its own, it would never go, it would always shine. Therefore, that way you say, it is lakshane idamakarana. So, aham vritti is idam by lakshana vritti because it is illumined by consciousness. It is paratantra. It is not swatantra. It is not self-existing, not self-shining. It is incidental. And therefore it is drushya. Therefore it is achetana. Therefore it is idam. That's how about ahankara you have to arrive at this conviction that ahankara is in fact anatma. Whether you call it idam or what is important is not atma. Therefore I have to give up judging myself based on that ahankara. Recognize that that's not the nature of atma. So this is the Chaitanya Bhasyata ahama. And tadarthyam cha, tatha tadarthyam asti. Ahankara also serves the purpose of atma. How? Atmani kartritva bhoktritva adi vyavahara nirvahakataya. Jivasya samasta samsara vodha. In Vivek Chudamani said that the Jivatma or ahankara is samasta samsara vodha. That actually it carries all the samsara vyavahara of all the three states and birth and death, everything is all by ahankara. So the ahankara carries out the whole vyavahara for Atma. Who is born? Who is dying? Who is awake? Who is sleeping? Who transmigrates? All of these ahankara. So Atmani kartatva bhoktrutva vyavahara nirvahakataya. Ahankara itself becomes karta, bhokta, sukhi, dukhi, and then all the vyavahara for the Atma is carried out by Atma doesn't do that. Ahankara carries all the vyavahara of kartrutva, bhoktrutva, sukhi like a minister. Except that Atma thinks that this is my vyavahara. That's why you can see it's not my vyavahara. See, the ahankara carries out all the vyavahara of kartrutva, bhoktrutva and everything else, that it is like a mantri or pradhana, and that is not I. The only one carrying out the vyavahara is incidental. Because vyavahara is changing. Sometimes there, sometimes not there, so I am not there. Atma Sheshatvam, Atma Bhasyatvam is there and Atma Sheshatvam is there. The Aham Vritti is Atma Bhasya, illumined by consciousness, and Atma Shesha for the purpose of consciousness, for the purpose of Atma. So what is that? Cannot be Atma. If the house is for the purpose of Devadatta, it cannot be Devadatta. So also Aham Vritti is for the purpose of Atma, therefore cannot be Atma. Is illumined by Atma and therefore also cannot be Atma. Two reasons are given why Aham Vritti is not Atma. Yasma evam tat tasmadapi anatmatva lakshana idam amsho vidyate. Therefore in ahankara idam amsha is there. Anatma is there. Although aham is experienced as aham only. So that it comes in the Vesha. Aham Vritti comes in different Vesha, karta, bhokta. So I take myself as karta, bhokta, but kartru, bhokta is Vesha. Is idamamsha. Is achetanam. That's what I have to see by viveka, by mananam. You can't see it. Meaning, you cannot experience it. But still you can have the conviction. You don't experience the karta as different from you, bhasya, etc. But then, it is bhasya because it is impermanent. It is incidental, changing, coming and going, so it cannot be I. That way, Lakshana Vritti, you say that it is anatma. Although you don't see it as anatma, don't experience it as anatma, you come to this conclusion that it is anatma. Because it has the lakshanas of anatma, not lakshana of atma. Tatasmadapi anatmatva lakshana idamamso vidyate. Therefore, in aham vritti, that anatma is there, we call it idamamsha, achetanamsha, bhasyamsha, tadarthyamsha. Ataha, so that is how, this is the conviction about ahankara. Atha tat prahanena brahmatma anubhava bhavat. So then prahanena is taken as one word. Only prahane and na were taken as other two. Na bhavet, then na went with bhavet earlier. Here, prahanena sa anubhava bhavet. Atatat prahanena sah brahmatma bhavet iti. Therefore, by giving up that anatma, then brahmatma anubhava, that I am Brahman, that anubhava bhavet, that conviction arises. It is sarvam samanjasam. Therefore, everything is quite in order. What is said is quite in order. Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।